Hey media, today we are launching into a short unit on the internet and CMC. I'll be using the acronym CMC throughout this unit, so it's important to understand what it stands for. CMC is Computer Mediated Communication. Now we know that communication means interaction between two or more individuals. We obviously know what a computer is. It could be a Chromebook or a phone or a tablet. The word mediated means to go between. Maybe you've heard of a person called a mediator, and they are going in between two people, probably who are having a dispute or some kind of argument. But in this sense, it's just that the computer is going in between two people when they are communicating. So if you consider a text message, well, that has two people, one on either side, and the cell phone is the computer that is mediating or going between that communication. An email would be the same thing. We're using a computer, we're using the internet to send a message between two people. So there are a lot of different channels that use the internet that would be considered computer mediated communication. Throughout this unit, our focus will be how the internet has changed our communication, certainly, our relationships, and really the way that our brains work and the way that we think has all changed because of the internet. So first, just for a second, consider how the internet has changed communication and relationships. Some things have actually been invented because of CMC. Think about the word ghosting, right? Ghosting didn't exist until CMC. It would be very difficult to ghost someone in real life. I'm sure it can be done, but it's a lot more of an effort, right? So we've created these words in our relationships that we now understand because of CMC. Because we can't see people all the time when we're using CMC, we also use things like emojis. We might use certain punctuation like exclamation points or a period, because we all know there's a difference in a text that says okay and K period, right? There's a big difference, even though it's really the same message. We'll also consider how the internet has changed our thinking. Now, a lot of people say that the internet makes us stupid, makes us lazy. But I want us to consider how the internet isn't necessarily dumbing us down, but it's making us think in different ways because we're learning how to access information instead of learning how to remember and store information. That information is already stored for us on the internet. So our brains are just learning and thinking in different ways. Now, to start off this unit, I always like to show part of a documentary that really sparked some great discussion. And I like to give a precursor to this documentary because it's quite old. All right, it's from 2008. Now, 2008 was quite a while ago. You were a young child, or perhaps not even born yet. Oh, my goodness. But I was alive and well and thriving in 2008. So the reason that I set this up is because sometimes students can't get over the fact that it is so 2008, but I want you to focus on the concepts. And that's why I still like to show this in class, because it always yields some really good discussion if you can get past 2008. So let's take a moment just to appreciate what was going on in 2008. Now, 2008 was all about the pink Razor flip phone. Man alive, do I miss my pink Razor flip phone. If you were lucky enough to have texting in 2008, you had to push each digit 3 times to get to the letter that you wanted. Okay, this is why no one capitalized anything, because then you would have to press the button 6 times. It was a lot of work. Maybe you recognize this fantastic music artist in the middle of this slide. His name was Soulja Boy, and I believe he had exactly one hit, also called Soulja Boy. There was a pretty epic dance when this song came out in 2008. Everyone knew it. I hope that you take some time today, go on YouTube, learn the Soulja Boy dance. You will hear it multiple times in this documentary, so I encourage you to be familiar with Soulja Boy. Before Facebook, before Twitter, before Instagram, certainly, there was a wonderful social networking site called MySpace. Now, MySpace was amazing because you could personalize your page, you could have your own background, you could have a theme song so that when people visited your page, your theme song started to play. Of course, you could have a profile picture that shows who you are and really illustrates the kind of person you are. And perhaps the most contentious part of MySpace was the top 8. That's right. You had a list of friends, which would be like your followers, and you could rank your top 8 friends. Imagine the drama if you have 8 gal pals in your MySpace top 8 and suddenly you get a new boyfriend. Where does the boyfriend go? I can still remember the drama of MySpace in 2008 when someone from your top 8 got bumped or was completely removed. It was a serious deal. So please consider who your top 8 friends are. Now, as I said, 2008 was a banner year for me, for Miss Beerbaum, because in 2008, I was a high school senior. That's right. I graduated in good old 2008. So do some backwards math to figure out how old I am. So here are some images. Students always ask me, did you have a MySpace? Well, of course I had a MySpace. Everyone did. And they said, do you still have access to it? And I said, no, it was too far removed. But I found out you can change the password on your MySpace. So I hacked into my old MySpace and I found you these delightful images from 2008. Here's me and my friend. We are dressed up for a football game. Go Tech Tigers. I was ready to sing the national anthem. How refined and patriotic I look in my orange lei, I know. 2008 was about a lot of eyeliner. You had to do the top and the bottom. You had to do a lot of it to really get into it. I know it's prom season. Here's my senior prom date. My high school boyfriend, we dated for 3 years. His name was Tony. Super dreamy. Obviously, we are not together anymore, but just look at those matching colors. We were ready for the prom. Here's my best friends from high school. This is when I made the poor decision to cut my own bangs because I thought I would look like Zooey Deschanel. I didn't. And then lastly, I thought I'd share a senior picture with you. I don't know if this is still a trend, but in 2008, were you even a senior if you didn't take your senior picture in a glowing field of grain? I don't think you even graduated then. I hope that this is still a trend. But this is what 2008 looked like. A little bit too much eyeliner and some questionable fashion choices. And you will see a lot of that in this documentary. Now, the documentary link I've posted on Schoology. It will bring you to this page. It's on PBS. If you scroll down just a little bit, or actually you might have to play first, and then you can make it full screen. You notice the whole thing is an hour long. I do not want you to watch the whole thing. You're welcome to if you want to, but you only need to watch the first 20 minutes. So when you click play, it should bring you to the option to go full screen. Tonight's program may not. Oof. Viewer discretion advised. That's right. This is some mature content. All right, so now I'm in full screen, and I believe 18 minutes is just about here. So go ahead and watch that first 18 minutes. Enjoy the 2008-ness in all its glory. I can't wait to discuss this with you.